All right, as we load into the Rift here, we see a lot of comfort picks, as you said
Right.
during the break.
As we were talking about, Fospro Dot on Nunobot. That was a really, really solid pick for him. He had really, really great snowballs. Last game we saw with them, they went for the really early invade, level 1 shenanigans, and they actually secured kills with it.
Both games we've seen Fospro Da playing Nunu, we've seen a 5-minute dragon, basically.
Right.
Do you think that the other team's going to account for this? Or do you think they're just going to, that's a standard, we know what's going to happen, let's let them have this dragon, and we'll grab another objective for it? Or do you think they're going to contest this 5-minute dragon?
I think it's kind of expected when you play Nunu that you are going to go for that early dragon. I think that's just something that's going to be expected to happen. And, you just need to plan around it. You need to have the ability to push waves, which they do with Anivia and Vlad. They need to, try and take towers. But where we're also seeing from
maybe a little bit of
from
shenanigans?
4Men1Boy is that they know how to choose the moment when to take that dragon. Because last time they took that early from the Goon Squad taking that dragon. Last time they took dragon, they did it when they had forced the enemy bot lane to recall, so there's no one really to contest it. And then they just 2-man it.
No, I guess the group up in that tri-bush, was just to...
It's defensive.
Just defensive.
Yeah, it would have been hilarious if they had decided, okay, well, we're going to take this death bush and go mobile.
Yeah.
You're going to move the bush with us.
Man, we've only seen one invade so far, and you know what?
It hurts
worked.
your heart. It hurts your heart, though.
It worked.
It's risky. That's the thing. It's too risky to do it when money's on the line.
Don't worry about it.
You need to worry about it
Don't
more.
worry about it. That's basically what I tell my team every time. I was like, let's invade. And they're like, nah,
No.
they have a stronger team comp, level 1. And I'm like, nah, don't worry about it.
They won't know what to do.
We got this.
All right, so we're seeing them the junglers patiently wait for buffs. Well, we're going to have to wait for that in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm going to write that down. 5 minutes. 500 min.
For those that didn't really hear, one of the teams exploded on the side.
Yeah, clapping and shouting. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. And hopefully it's interesting as Game Boy player gets out that auto attack harass. Good job, Kenan.
The only thing is can he get a solid shuriken harass? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, that grab on the D-Butter. But
grab on a D-Butter, but they're not really going to be able to get a whole lot out of this. Everybody level 1 right now. That's kind of how invades go. Ooh, I landed a skill.
What
are we
going to
do with it?
I landed a skill. I guess I'll auto attack. And again. And another time. And then maybe get a kill. But mostly auto attack. Hooking the minion.
Uh-oh.
What a man.
The minions. I guess he thought he was going to die.
He's really pushing that lane there as he gets his level 2. He can't get his stun really until level 3 or so, but when that happens, oh man, the raz you get with the Kennen stun is really, really solid. And I really, really want to see another dominant Kennen game because I find Kennen to be really fun.
The burst starting off already in mid lane. Got Anivia. Starting to chunk people.
Just stun into something else, and you will win. You will win that trade 100% of the time, every time.
To be honest, I've never really seen exactly how effective Anivia Burst can be until this tournament when people start pulling it out in this high-level play. So,
right, so we're going to have that to look forward to. And I really think we're going to see, just what we've seen all weekend, which is a lot of Anivia's burst. That is a bursty bird. It's
Rusty with the grab. But the chompers don't quite land as D-Butter and Snaps go back and forth trading auto attacks and a couple of spells.
This is just a really solid lane for both teams. And it's kind of just a skill matchup, and they may just patiently wait to get farmed up.
Both champions here, Jinx and Vayne, can get extremely scary.
Absolutely. And Vayne with that true damage passive, she doesn't really need to... There's no tanks for her to just melt except for the Common Coal on Pantheon. And he's just, unless he builds really tanky, they won't have a tank, except for Blitzcrank.
Yeah, I feel like Blitzcrank's going to go kind of tanky as well. Oh, Rusty.
That was a really solid
A
go
hook
in
on a
there.
Rusty, and then a condemn. Rusty's in a bad spot here, forcing a flash out, but
Fospro
Fospro there to be the sticky Nunu he is. And first blood comes out as Snaps tries to run away as quickly as possible after getting the kill on Deep Butter. But the flake comes out, and the flash, and the heal, and the ice ball. But he's going to take too many tower shots, and Fospro is going to get taken out as Snaps.
2-for-1 bot lane gank. That was Snap 13's great counterplay.
Snaps did a really good job there.
Staying alive just barely.
Exactly. Staying alive and recognizing the situation, recognizing who is being focused as we have a pause come out. For not too long, we've been told. It's not too long of a pause here.
Yeah. So that did everything they needed to do, which was funnel 2 kills on the Jinx.
Absolutely.
That's going to get them started now.
Something I really like to point out here, Jinx ran back to the tower, but if you notice, she ran extremely close to the tower.
Right.
So at one point in time, when Nunu went to auto attack her, he wasn't attack moving. Because if he would have been attack moving, he would have got the auto attack off. But he was trying to click on her, and instead clicked on the tower and hit one auto attack on the tower.
It's safety. It's one of those subtle plays that you really don't see. As we see, they're communicating mouse issues and the jungler lagging out.
There we go. He's back.
Yeah,
I think that's probably going to be.
I don't think it's going to be long, but he may just want to get back into things. Now, we'll see how long it takes.
Hey, at least he didn't get killed by a jungle camp.
Yeah, at least he didn't get killed by a jungle camp. We saw that happen earlier. So we're seeing that the Common Cold is really ahead, is actually behind in gold compared to Fospro Da. And I need to rotate some things here. Boom. There we go. Flat top. As we're going to see back in into 2. Boom.
There we go.
Everything getting right back underway here.
The player's not missing a beat in CS, I see.
I believe you in Decepticane.
I don't know, man. Kennen's a bully.
Kennen is like unexpected picks here. Kennen, Anivia, just for the weekend in general. Just Kennen and Anivia. I never thought I would see them in like this level of play, but it's like comfort picks for these guys, and they just realize that hey, there's a temptation when you do solo queue and when you play in tournaments to say, okay, well this is meta, so I need to play what's in meta. But realistically, you will
play what you're best at.
You'll do better on a champion you're comfortable with than on a champion that is meta.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely every time. And Game Boy player we've seen is extremely comfortable on this Kennen. He's played some very, very good Kennen. Completely demolishing that other game when they had the mid lane Annie as well. As we see them rotate around. As Fospro Da gets grabbed and then zapped, he's going to go down here, and that's going to rule out that early dragon right there completely.
We saw 4Men1Boy really anticipate that early dragon and, just counter-rotated around it and made sure that they could take it down. And they did. They made absolutely 100% certain that they could handle the Goon Squad's rotations.
They knew that was coming up soon as a hook lands on Rusty, but they're not really going to be able to do much out of that one.
It was just a harassment hook, and it didn't really matter because the Common Cold's going to pick up this dragon. And
I think Rusty might have known that he was standing on a ward because the blitz grab coming in, they saw what happens if you get blitz grab. Fospro Da got grabbed and got killed.
Absolutely.
Get grabbed, get dead.
Get grabbed, get dead. That rocket-propelled blitz grip.
Rocket-propelled blitz grip. I'm not even gonna try to say that one. I'm gonna get so tongue-tied.
Yeah, you think? All right. So we see, top lane is a top lane. They just kind of go back and forth. Junglers don't really care. It's gotta hurt. Why did I do that? There we go. Okay. Wrong button. I was trying to press.
The blitz grab just missing.
Right. So unpress.
Snaps. Just laying down damage on the tower. They know that they can get this early tower with Thresh not anywhere close to being in lane.
But he does show up, and they don't take the tower. They're gonna. I think bot lane tower is gonna be the first to fall, especially with that Jinx hyper. He stops the recall. Maximal disrespect. That little bit of harass.
The little bit advantages you can get in lane, such as a longer recall time, stuff like that.
Right.
You take them.
Yeah, but
Fospro Da shows up to hold the lane.
Yeah, Game Boy player is really ahead CS 64 to 25. So when he goes back, he's going to have a lot more money in his pocket. I mean, he's sitting on right now almost 2,000 gold.
He's junking out anybody that walks in the lane right now. I mean, Vladimir has a sustain to hold up to it, but Fospro Da got half health right when he walked up to that tower.
Yeah, they needed a sustained top laner to even feels somewhat comfortable against Game Boy player on this Kinnan. I mean, Trundle would be good.
Oh, the blitz grab.
Decepticane
Oh, but the
on
hook lands on the snaps as they get some auto attack trading off. The zap just missing
with
as
the
well.
zap throughout your champers. So we see it was just that speeding up to get that stun. That was a great stun.
That was.
Didn't even expect it, but man, that hurt.
That was good. Ended up with the stun and a very solid trade out of that
Yeah,
one.
really, really good combination stun. And
and the grab lands onto Bulby as Bulby tries to flay snaps off out of range, and the Jinx ult goes out, but it wasn't quite enough as the hook comes out on Rusty trying to pull him into tower range. That doesn't work. But up top, Game Boy throwing out the ult on Decepticane, forced to pull out.
Can he get
as he threw down the ult on Game Boy as well, but it really didn't do much as Decepticane is forced to back out of this one being so low.
The bursty bird coming down from the river.
The hook
Rusty,
landing on the Rusty, zoning out with the wall by Auric. Stun coming out. Rusty is in a terrible spot right here.
That was a really, really well-placed wall to prevent Snaps from being able to save his AD carry. You know, just well-placed, well-timed.
You mean the
zoning.
support?
No, he placed it on the Snaps.
Snaps is the AD carry.
Yeah.
To save his AD carry?
Save. Oh, you're correct. Okay. Yeah, you have to remind me what came out of my mouth.
It happens because you do it to me. So.
Yeah, we do it to each other.
But I Heart New York.
Yeah, I Heart New York.
Solid damage
really
on this
good tower damage. He has a lot of wave clear, so he can really make tower kills happen. And when they see their 4Men1Boy is already 2 towers up and 1 kill up. So that global gold is really, really putting them ahead.
Only 2.5K right now, but let's see what they can do with that little bit of lead. As we've noted multiple times, these teams like to take those leads and push them. 2.5 is not a huge lead, split over 5 people, but it's definitely a lead, and it can be exploited.
Right.
As Game Boy player just goes back in on the Decepticane and pulls to avoid the procs.
If we see the common Cole finish his jungler item and really start ganking heavily and heavily and heavily, he may be able to get his lanes really snowballing here, especially if he focuses on Game Boy player and gets that Kinnan really far ahead already, because he's already very significantly ahead in CS. I mean, that's a CS difference that that hurts.
I heard New York in a terrible spot right here as he condemns and the wall comes out and he gets completely collapsed on. Tried to get something from Aorc, but didn't.
But the egg would have been up anyway.
Yeah,
so
the
really
egg is still up. Has not been popped yet.
I mean, I feel like they should try and get a rotation here to help out Game Boy or to help out Decepticane, but I don't think it's going to come. He's a man alone on a mission. As we see, Snaps here at Rusty Bushmaster getting cut down. The Goomba Stop coming down from Phosphor is going to get stunned here mid-ultimate, but is going to pop it soon as Snaps 13 just kind of walks away, not want to get caught even further in this really poorly chosen engagement from 4Men1Boy, or rather trying to contest a dragon that wasn't even there. It's going to be up in a minute 10. Just a poorly chosen place to fight. And they felt like they could win it, but they were just not in the right spot with the right people.
They were trying to set up for that dragon right there for whenever it comes out, laying down wards, clearing out the other team's wards. Game Boy player.
Too fast.
That was a good wall from Aorc, but just getting way too mobile for that.
When you're a flippin' ninja.
Yeah. Hey, ninjas can jump over walls quite easily, from what I hear.
He's not tall enough.
Not tall enough? Oh,
right.
My bad.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm sorry. Normal ninjas can jump over walls.
There you go. As we see Hamster Bro getting
taken out. For some extra vision.
A Game Boy player with the gank.
Game Boy player, the flash ult. As Aorc gets really low, the Jinx ult gets blocked from Aorc, and he doesn't end up popping that egg quite yet. But the stun comes out as New York starts tanking tower, and Snaps picks up a kill under tower. That was some solid, continuous damage from Snaps.
Okay, a mistake I think was made there was Bulby Bad Kid made like the panic pull onto Game Boy player mid-ult. Maybe he thought it would disrupt it, but he's actually just pulling an ulting Kinnan into his team.
Basically.
Under tower.
He ended up getting stunned himself. That was just a really fortunate trade there at that mid tower for 4Men1Boy, who are taking that lead and pulling ahead now to almost 3K gold.
You are correct, sir. I think we're going to see. So we have 4Men1Boy who are really, really warded up Dragon here as they take that mid tower. They're probably going to rotate down to Dragon as we see them kind of making the moves, getting spotted by a few wards in the process. Bulby Bad Kid coming down, Trolley trying to make a just a showing, but he gets
and he
pulled
gets
over
grabbed,
the wall.
and the chompers go out as well. Bulby's in a bad spot, and
Fosprodon and
gets
Ulrich
taken
probably reconsidering going down there. If it had been a 3v3, it'd be different. But 2v3, especially a 4-0 Jinx with a BF sword and a pickaxe, I don't want to make that trade anytime, any day.
she's 2/3 of the way done with her Infinity Edge and has a dagger on top of that.
Right, and she's also sitting on 1,600 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go near it. I just don't want to even touch it.
Yeah.
She's probably going to using that dagger to finish her tier 2 boots before any more team fighting and rotations happen, so she can complete them more quickly.
With that amount of gold, she'll be able to finish up Infinity Edge. Well, she'll be able to finish up Infinity Edge and get basic boots.
She has basic boots.
Oh. No, she'll be able to finish up Infinity Edge and finish her boots.
Awesome. thanks for confirming what I already knew.
Completely did not even see the level 1 boots there.
Yes,
Yeah.
All right. We'll see what she buys. We'll see who's right.
I bet you she finishes up Infinity Edge. And
She does.
Boop,
And she
boop,
does. Hey, look at
done.
that. We're both right. As we see, Ulrich picking up blue buff and Game Boy player picking up Krugs. Just trying to let Vlad push so he can go for another kill. See, Ulrich, it's really hard for him to be so low on mana and clear that blue buff. He's rushing forward. Oh man, doesn't quite get the stun. This is comedic. How long this is taking. He got brought really low.
He needs to get a solid item. He's building his
Roa
Roa right now. Once he gets his Roa finished up and he gets one more solid AP item, he will not have that much problems at all. But one thing I noticed here, they're just completely leaving Game Boy Player up top just to do whatever he does. I mean, 4Men1Boy aren't giving him any attention because he doesn't really need any attention, but Goon Squad isn't giving him attention either.
Right. I mean,
they're just leaving him to harass Vladimir out of lane.
Right. And, what we're seeing from Cannons today and, all weekend is that they farm exorbitantly well because they can just push people off of minion waves. It's kind of like the Faker principle. I can harass you, and then you're scared to farm.
Yeah, and then you can basically just free farm after that.
Absolutely.
As Game Boy Player takes a little bit of a trade here, but Decepticane still, he knows that he can't solidly out-trade Cannon right now.
Vlad's damage is substantial, but it is not something that I would rely on or something I would be afraid of in a trade situation. And, he's just going to get tanky, and that's going to make him be more damage-bearing. And we've seen some really, really scary Vladimirs from the likes of Bjergsen and other LCS mid laners. Bjergsen's really the only one that comes to mind. And remind me after the break, I'm actually going to write this down, LCS, because I have to comment on something. Anyway, as we see Rusty Bushmaster clearing out the wards. He is the Bushmaster.
He is.
And he is the only person allowed to put wards in his bushes.
He's been very well this whole entire tournament of keeping up with the vision from the support role.
I mean, overall, we've seen really, really good vision control, and I think that might be part of, I'm playing for money in a tournament against people who are as good, if not better than me, or you have a healthy respect, so you say, okay, we're going to ward. We're going to ward a lot.
Yeah. These teams definitely know how the hook missing out, but the stun and the condemn lands as Common Cold is going to get taken down here.
Up that kill.
Solid pick, and I Heart New York wasn't quite able to help his buddy out there.
Help a buddy out, man. Help a buddy out.
But from both teams, like we were talking about the vision game's been very good out of these guys. You can see the vision more centered towards the river area. No team has really gotten solid control of the other team's jungle, except for that top side. At top side, Goon Squad has warded up quite a bit because they know Kennen is pushed so far in.
And he can roam just so.
Yeah, that's such an easy spot for him to roam.
And his ganks are actually really, really potent when you consider his stun. Because
Absolutely.
Not only does he have great damage, not only does he have a lot of mobility, he has that stun, which I feel is a really, really integral part of his kit.
We might see a fight here as Aoric chunks out I Heart New York, but he's forced to get out of the fight as Rusty Bushmaster
going down there.
Grabs Game Boy Player going down to D Butter, putting him on a killing spree as that equals out a double kill for D Butter, but Pantheon's coming in the back, going to try to get something. That is a triple kill for Vayne. That's going to spell some serious quadra kill
into
for
an
Vayne.
ace.
That's going to spell
Wow.
some serious problems for 4Men1Boy now.
From 2-1 to 6-1
That's
in the space of 30 seconds.
That's an issue right there.
That just went from a mediocre Vayne to a terrifying Vayne.
Absolutely.
6-1 at 18 minutes. Wow. I mean, and they also managed to take out Game Boy Player, which will hopefully equalize top lane a bit more. But he did pick up Zonia's, which is something that is a power spike you have to worry about with Kennen. When he picks up the Zonia's.
Picks up the Zonia's. Vlad has 4 assists now and has no deaths. Vlad's been able to survive this lane as Game Boy Player pushes out that top tower. And Fospro die in a problem here. In a little situation, he goes down.
But
the stun landing Game Boy Player is also in a little bit stitchy situation. Gets a double kill out of it and goes down to the Vayne, making him godlike.
Gets collapsed on 5v1, takes out 2 of them before going down.
Good play, very good Kennen play.
But he did give another kill to that Vayne, and that's something you just don't want to do because he's picking up Zeal and a pickaxe and just pink wards. I mean, you see an ADC buying pink wards, you know he's ahead. When do ADCs ward?
All the time, sir. All the time.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
But this Vayne suddenly
came terrifying.
Probably being the most scary person in the game right now.
Right. Even as she just walks into – she could walk into this Baron fight, and they would probably run away.
You mean Dragon fight?
Dragon fight. Well, Baron's up in about 5 seconds. That's what I was thinking about it. Anyway, so they're trying to give chase, and I think they really, really want to, but they know they can't catch him.
D-Butter here, if you notice that Bulby and D-Butter have barely separated this entire game.
That's how ADCs and supports roam together. They're joined at the hip.
They pretty much are. Now, some supports will roam out, and then ADCs will be left to farm and stuff like that. And especially with a Vayne, getting good farm up or getting good solid picks up, they've definitely chosen the pick route here as D-Butter's been roaming for quite a while with their tower down.
If you can trust your AD carry to play safely, then it can roam up as a support and make picks happen, make kills happen in the mid lane or in the jungle.
The teams are very supportive of their own players. We hear them yelling congratulations to each other as anything pretty much.
When I hear them cheer, I always look at the time, add 3 minutes, and write it down.
Yeah.
So I know when to start paying a lot of attention to what's happening. That was a good wall for Game Boy Player. It was poorly placed for Aoric, but it got Game Boy Player away safely.
If that would have caught Game Boy Player, he'd have been dead.
That'd have been dead
instantly.
He may have picked up a kill, maybe 2, but that'd have been death.
You know what I really want to see here?
What's up?
Condemn into a Nivea wall.
It's doable. They changed that code recently to make it work, but I'd love to see it work.
I really, really want to see it. As Bulby Kid misses the stun out on and misses the hook out on Game Boy Player, and the wall goes down.
That was a better wall.
That was a wall in their favor. They wanted Game Boy Player
keeping
off
him from following up. You want to just charge forward and get. Oh man, I gotta get him, but that wall shut him down. Oh wow.
Oh, the hook landing on Bulby Butter. The chompers go out as he flashes over the wall, but the zap doesn't quite land either, having to pop the ult to get that speed boost out.
Right. We see Decepticane falling into the trap of not clicking the lantern. What a man. Never click the lantern. It's a sign of weakness.
Absolutely. It's 100% a sign of weakness. And all the support mains go, I hate you.
We hate you. We hate you.
So much hate.
They want stop sign Thresh, who he throws his lantern. It's a big red ball that you just click on me, and people still would click on it.
Make the Thresh lantern start flashing now, so everybody sees it even more.
Traffic cop Thresh.
If Blood Moon Thresh wasn't enough with the big red lantern,
right? But Thresh. Right. So according to my notes, we're about to see some #LCS CyPha big plays in about 15 seconds. I don't know where from.
I don't know. As everybody pretty much recalls to pick up items, everybody goes back to farming for right now.
I think we're going to see Game Boy Player 1v5 and pick up all the kills.
Obviously, that's going to be it.
Nah.
4Men1Boy, if Kennen doing extremely well right now in pressure, just being a force on the map, but doesn't have champion-wise
Uh-huh.
and individually-wise doesn't have an extreme lead like D-Butter on Vayne does right now.
Yeah, I mean, the 7-1 Vayne is.
The flash
wow, here
stun
we go.
in on Aorc.
Oh, that
but
pull
the
again.
hook lands, and Game Boy players not really
Phosphor Da.
taking much damage at all. Phosphor Da lands a full ult onto Rusty, and Rusty gets almost completely chunked out as
TP coming
Aorc
down on the backside.
gets all of 2 health left on him as D-Butter tries to get out
Snap
as quick
staying
as
in.
possible, but snaps,
Wow,
landing the
great
double
bounty.
kill and the shutdown on that.
Yeah,
That
as
was
they
a
speed up,
very,
speed up with Karma. I mean, that was a great fight.
very good team fight. Oh, as the Septicane gets grabbed in, trying to pull out, but I don't think he's really going to be able to get out of this one. And
There we saw once
pretty much
again
unofficial ace there.
Bulby Bad Kid hooking Kennen mid ult. That is it's very bad decision trying to pull in a Kennen mid ult because you're just pulling a high damage source into your team.
Well, the hook is not necessarily for the pull, as we see double grabs missing there. The hooks, I don't feel like is necessarily just to pull him in. It's more like to stop him. It's
Right,
the
to
only
stop him
form
from
of
moving forward freely.
the only form of solid stun that they have
Except
right
Anivia.
there. The Anivia ball is so slow that Kennen can just speed up and move around that.
Yeah, you have to have the reflexes to say, okay, pop the stun
Yeah.
while he's moving around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, Dragon's going to be up in a minute 5, and Bulby Bad Kid. They're both trying to play this ward game, but Goon Squad has a lot more wards on this side of the map, and in general, I feel like 4Men1Boy really need to answer with some counter warding.
But as we see the gold lead going back in favor of 4Men1Boy after that really successful team fight there.
It's the tower lead. It's that 4 tower lead. I know I've been saying it like pseudo-facetiously, but it's actually really why.
It really is the tower lead.
And that massive CS differential.
As we see
It's
Game
a
Boy up in the
4,000
top
gold
lane.
difference.
This might be another tower here. Another tower lead.
I believe in him. I mean, he has a Doran's Blade and then full AP. He can make it happen.
Oh, he's definitely going to be able to grab this tower. No one's going up to stop him
His
right now.
TP is up, so if they try for Dragon, he will be able to TP down.
This is a really good move from 4Men1Boy, grabbing another tower, pushing into the next as they pretty much have vision on all members of Goon Squad as they focus around this dragon. Goon Squad's just letting this happen. They do have a TP, like you said. Kennen does have TP up.
And
Can
it's
come
coming
in.
down right now.
There it goes. This could be a solid team fight in favor of 4Men1Boy.
That was a recall. My mistake.
Oh,
That was
I'm
not
sorry.
the teleport.
Recall as Aorc gets really low. The
Oh,
Jinx
wow.
ult and the hook.
Pops.
It
the
does pop the
egg.
egg, but the lantern kind of helped him
As
out a
you
little
see,
bit with
Game
the
Boy
shield.
player. We had this watch.
Fight over
Septicane.
blue buff here as Phosphor Dog goes down to Snaps. Snaps jumping in there. And the double kill with the great crit rocket, and Aorc getting really low as well. The Jinx ult is already down. But that's going to be another crit for a triple kill for Jinx.
Wow.
Jinx suddenly got a lot more scarier than Vayne.
Oh, yeah, man. 9-1 to 7-2.
Uh-oh, D-Butter going in on Game Boy up here. Game Boy's in a
Game
little bit of
Boy
problem,
here,
but lays down the
man, oh,
stun and
man alive.
completely chunks out D-Butter
That is
as well
a ton
as the
of
Decepticane.
damage.
Decepticane taking
That's
some
done.
damage as well,
Wow.
trying to heal up, but
That
doesn't
2v1.
make it. That's a double kill.
They're
Two
gonna see game here,
inhibs.
man, because they're
That's
walking
gonna
out.
be game right there. They
And
have
this push is just
only
really,
two people
really
left
nasty.
up. Yeah, they're going to be able to push this down, grab a Nexus Tower with Jinx there, and that's going to be a
she
kill
has
for
shift,
iHeart
she
New
has-
York as they try to focus down this last Nexus Tower. But
Or
Karma's going to shield as they get out, but Phosphoro Dog going in on Common Cold. Common Cold
Cole's gonna
taking
go down here.
tower damage and is going to get absolutely
we were
blown
wrong. It was
up.
not game just yet.
Not
They're going to
quite
rotate
yet. Not quite yet. As
Really
they
intelligent
push him
decision to
off of
rotate
that
away.
Nexus Tower.
out. Oh, the stun. Can he make it
Oh,
happen?
Game
He's
Boy
gonna go
player.
down.
Oh, getting chunked. and
Zonia's.
Zonia's.
Oh.
Is
poor,
it?
poor
Yeah,
guy.
there it goes. One more tick, man. It's
One
got
more.
one more tick.
That tick you don't expect. It's 16 and 14, and the goal difference is about 8,000.
And this was a little bit back and forth in the mid game with Goon Squad pulling
Really, really
ahead
good
for.
time. Really good team fights. Like really
Really
exciting
good
to cast
team
team
fights.
fights. I mean, but we're seeing that exploiting of kills into objectives more meaningfully on the side of 4Men1Boy.
Absolutely. 4Men1Boy understand the Kennen teleport. They
Right.
understand what that can do, how fast Kennen can push, and get back into those team fights, and what
Absolutely.
Kennen can do in a team fight.
And Kennon's teleport is still up right now. And we have brain flatulence as I consider the top and bottom super minion waves pushing. You know, it's a real question of what do they want to do here? Do they want to like push to close out? Do they want to push mid, get that third inhibitor, and then close out? You know, it's all a question of choices and how you revolve around and rotate with those choices. They're going to go for the mid lane here.
It looks like they're going to go for the mid lane. They could have gone for the Baron, an easy pickup for Baron. But the flank coming out as Dolby throws out a hook, but it doesn't land on anyone. The zap, the blitz grab, though, does land on Aorc, and Snaps takes up that kill as Fospro die and Dolby gets stunned. The Jinx ult coming out and picking up a triple kill as Goomba Stomp comes out on Decepticane, getting grabbed and getting taken down as well. That's going to be game.
You mentioned going for Baron, and that would have been the wrong decision to make because they already had such strong pushing potential they didn't need Baron. They could just push to win, as they do
right now. Oh, Deep Butter putting up a fight, though.
Does not go down there. I mean,
doesn't
7 and 3.
Get anyone out.
But Jinx ended 12 and 1.
Yeah.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
That was some really good play by both ADCs. The transition into mid games with Jinx's power spikes and Vayne's power spikes, I feel like both ADCs handled that extremely well.
Oh, absolutely. Both ADCs saw superb play, but I think the MVP of that game probably has to go to Kennen. Kennen just made it work. Put in a lot of work.
Managing those teleports and the team fights
and
with the ults.
And his burst and the
his
ults.
Burst,
yeah.
Just a very, very, very dominant performance, both games with the Kennen.
So we're going to go to a short break while we get ready.
2-minute break, actually.
A 2-minute break, you got told?
2-minute break. I just got told in my sneaky little earbud I have here.
All right, so we're going to swap casters and get these Smash guys on the desk so we can start up some awesome Smash action. Be right back.